everyone, it's Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and it is day 2 of the Consensus Conference in Austin, Texas. I am sitting here with one of the attendees, Amar, the founder and president of a company called Auro Digital. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you enjoying the conference so far?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think what I like about this conference compared to some of the others is you have really good attendance from TradFi and the crypto community. Some of the others get too preachy on the crypto side. This one is a really good combo. So I've met a lot of former colleagues, and I'm actually a combination of both as well. So I've spent like 25 years mostly on the asset management buy side in TradFi, and kind of got into crypto back in 2017 through a couple of investments that we made out of the fund. So it's been an interesting journey. Yeah.
Can you tell me what those investments were?
Yeah, I can, of course. So just to just zoom out a bit, so the fund is it's out of the Tiger community, so it essentially invests in TradFi with a tech and financial services bias, and so we've been early investors in the Ubers and the Palantirs and the Alibabas, and we thought that the valuations in tech had gotten quite long in the tooth back in 2017 and 18, and we were starting to lose some of the data scientists from the fund. So the fund, although it's a fundamental strategy, we had a lot of data scientists who were doing quant signals that we used to echo the fundamental investing that we were doing. And so we thought it was great to take the data scientists that we were losing to all these shiny things happening in Techline and create a venture studio. And out of that came the investment. So our first investment was actually in a company called Diginex Access, which was a NASDAQ-listed company. And it was kind of interesting. They had a JV with Broadridge, which is the TradFi leader in trading software. And so one of our first ventures was a fully AI-enabled crypto price prediction platform. So it was kind of a fund in crypto. And so we needed an OMS, PMS to house that strategy in. And so we asked Broadridge, and they said, we don't have one, but we've got this JV with Diginex. So we started working with it, got close to it. And so then when Binance acquired them, we kind of acquired that portion of it. And that is rechristened into Auro Digital now.
Okay, so then tell me about what Auro Digital is, what the mission and the vision is behind it, and your role in it.
Yeah. So I'm a co-founder. The tagline is to be the world's gateway for digital assets.
What does that mean?
So what that means is that, there's a lot of this, talk about blockchain and crypto, but underneath it, there is a very deep infrastructure layer. So somebody's got to build the pipes and the plumbing into all of these exchanges. Like, you hear about Binance and OKX and Huobi and Coinbase, but at one point there was 2,000 crypto exchanges. It was
too many.
Yeah, way too many. And so after the whole FTX debacle, that number has shrunk. But Auro Digital right now has pipes into about 80 centralized exchanges. We also have the plumbing into 120 decentralized exchanges. So after DeFi kind of became big, we started actively putting in the plumbing into funding protocols and DEXs, and then also into the custodians. Into the qualified custodians, we've got the pipes in. And then finally, we're now working on a project with Sui, the Meta guys, to build a clearing settlement platform on the blockchain. So it's as you can tell, it's a pretty comprehensive infrastructure for digital assets that underpins a lot of the things that you might hear about. So we're the guys on kind of the inside. And it's been like 4 or 5 years. So, like Diginex Access started back in like 2018. So it's been quite a lot of years of building this thing. Okay,
so you guys are the plumbers, basically, you said. Like, how do you fix leaks as the plumbers?
I mean, look, it is true. An infrastructure business, it's not a sexy business. There's a lot of work. So the way we're connected into a lot of these exchanges and DEXs is through APIs. So we've got WebSockets, we've got Fix, we've got REST APIs. And the issue with this industry is that there's no standardization, right? So everyone's got their own idiosyncratic pipes, and they've got their own protocols, and they have their own product SKUs, and even exchanges, like the way they list their futures and perps and options is quite different from other exchanges. So that's why, though, I was excited by this product. And so when leaks when one of the pipes goes down, then we've got a large team of developers that has to go and fix it. And so we also thought about kind of building the world in a way where a lot of our data science team is actually based in Hong Kong and in India. and a lot of our front office and biz dev teams are based here in the US and in London and Hong Kong and Dubai. So that's the approach we've taken to it.
I'm curious about what you think hinders mass consensus, mass agreement of blockchain's potential to change the world. Like, what needs to change to make blockchain a thing for everyone, everywhere?
Yeah. I think it's a good question. I would probably reword the question a little bit. I think there has been kind of a consensus, to quote unquote, about the power and the ability of blockchain. I think what we're now trying to achieve is adoption. We're trying to achieve mass adoption. I think the consensus, a belief system that, a distributed ledger can do away with a lot of the intermediaries and a lot of the friction costs and financial costs of doing business by having technology kind of be the middle office. I think that consensus has been there for a while. I think we're now kind of passing the chasm and getting to mass adoption. And I think even to last year, it was a retail-led movement, right? And kudos to them. I think, the retail guys saw something that many of us in the institutional side kind of saw but didn't really action. And then they kind of advanced it to a level where it was just too big to not notice it. And so now you've got guys like, BlackRock and Franklin Templeton and many of the, big institutional guys coming in, and the regulators have finally, after, what was quite a difficult turf war in the US, Hong Kong and Dubai and Singapore were a bit more progressive, finally realized, and, with the spot BTC ETF license.
And now we have spot Ethereum ETFs approved. So do you think that we need all of these ETFs? Is this the best way to get institutions in?
I think it is. And the reason is that while ETFs have their challenges in that, you don't have the composability that you have if you're holding that digital asset in a wallet. There's lots of different things you can do with it. But it's not intuitive for mass adoption to tell, somebody who's kind of been in the Web 2 space that, hey, you need to have kind of this cold wallet and you need to remember a passphrase. And if you lose it, you might lose your money. So I think putting a traditional wrapper on a digital asset gives you actually mass adoption. And as you can see, we've had one of the top 5 most successful ETF launches of all time. And so that's how you define mass adoption. And what's interesting is you've gotten to these massive inflows into these ETFs right now without any involvement from institutional or even RIAs, if you look at the data. So while the prices have gone up, if you look at the data, it would argue that we're still in the early innings because there's still a lot of adoption to come.
Got more innings to go. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.